Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. New Soul Castings. I'm Bobby, and what do you know? I'm still wearing the same clothes as you seen in the last video. Yes, I do take a bath and I do change clothes. I just figured since I made the bedding video, and I didn't actually show y'all how I did my breeder trays, so I figured I'd just show you how to do the breeder trays, and that way there's no questions on any of it. So let me show you first about the bedding here. I'm gonna make a big old hole in this bedding right here, and I'm gonna come get the camera and the tripod and show you something. All right, as you can see, we made a big old hole right there in the. You don't see no standing water at all, do you? No standing water in the bin itself. You might say, well, that's the way I make mine. But the thing is, once you grab my bedding and you try to get right here and you want to get a fistful of it, look at all that water. That's how wet I make my breeder bins. It's not standing water, it's not puddling, but when you squeeze that bedding, it just pours out. And that right there is the key to getting yourself a whole lot of cocoons out of a small little dish. You keep that bedding moist, you keep it, don't, just like I showed you, don't let it be standing water. It ain't got a big sloppy mess. But you use the peat moss from Lowe's, not Home Depot, not the Lambert. But you use the earth. What was the name of it again? Let's see, the Majestic Earth, and you'll like it myself. Put it down in the comments if you do go buy it, and what do you think about it? I've been using it for a couple years now, and I really prefer it over the Lambert any day of the week. Unless you want to pay for the expensive Lambert, the Pro version, where they've already sifted out all that, but you're talking $10 higher than that bag right there. But anyway, to each their own. Use what you want to. But if you go out and do get the Majestic Earth from Lowe's, let me know what you think about it down there in the comments. If you got any questions, leave them down there in the comments. I'll be more happy to answer any questions you got. But now we're going to move on from the bedding. I showed you the bedding. I showed you how wet I keep it. This is my first breeder tray right here. There's its cover tray. Oh, the worms are up here on top. All these are pure reds. There's the bubble wrap that they like playing in. So what I do is I'll scoot them all down here to this end. Now I could run them through a sifter, but I don't do that. Like I said when I was making the bedding, I try to be as least intrusive on them as I can. I mean, I could run it through a sifter, but then you'd have to let it dry, and that's not good. But you know, I try to think of it like I would if I lived in California. If I lived in California, and we'll just liken this sifter as an earthquake in California. The first thing that hits my mind when a earthquake comes is not going to be, oh, I need to grab my woman and start making babies. The first thing on my mind is going to be, what the heck's going on? I'm disoriented. Let me get out of here. So I try to view it like that when it comes to the worms. Once I change out their bedding, I want them to go right back to making cocoons and doing what they do for me. So that's the whole reason I don't sift. Yeah, this does take a little bit longer, but like I said, when you live by yourself and this is all you got to do to pass time, then it really ain't that long at all. So I'll go through here and I will hand pick every one of these worms out, and this bedding will just get dumped over into the mortar tray right there and get put on the thermostats just for the cocoons to start hatching. So I mean, like I said in the last video, you're only going to be in there for 21 days. You barely have enough time for the microbes and the fungi and all the good stuff that the worms like to eat to even get started going good in here. So there's no sense of putting a whole bunch of material in here that is just going to be a waste of your time and a waste of material, because it's going to get wasted. I like to try to save it and save money where I can and do things properly. in my mind anyway. Everybody has their own way. You got to find whichever way works the best for you in your situation. My way might not be the best for you. The other worm farmers may not be their way may not be the best for you. We all have to find which way works the best for us and go with that. And with a half a pound of worms in each one of these trays, it'll take me just a minute to get this one empty. There's a lot of cocoons in here, I know that much. They've been having a good time. But that's what I like to see, because that's the whole purpose of this tray. I like for them to do what I need them to do. Cocoons everywhere. Then feeding them a good diet will also get them going. That horse manure in there with them, not bothering them. But I probably bother these in the 21 days that they run, you know. The 21 days they run, I probably bother them probably about 3 times. I'll come in there and check on them 3 times in that 21-day cycle, just to make sure the moisture's right. I'll give them a little extra food. Might give them some pumpkins, or mainly cantaloupes and stuff is what I try to feed my breeder worms, because it's sweet and it helps them out a lot. But this right here just seems to be less intrusive for me. To them, without shaking their brains out and then expect them to go right back to doing what I need them to do. I don't want them to be disoriented and stall out on me. Because like I said, they only got 21 more days, and then I'll be right back in there separating them again. So, and I'll do this at 6 more trays today, and then what's left of that bedding right there to get put in a bucket for the next 6 trays that will fall on December the 6th. So that's when the next 6 trays get taken care of. And do I try to get every worm out of here? No, I don't. I like to leave around 5 or 6 worms in there, possibly 10. I don't count them, because it seems to me when I put them in my hatching trays under the heat mat, if there's a worm in there, a couple worms in there still working around in the bedding, it seems to me that they hatch just a little bit faster. You know, I do like everybody else. When it gets close that time, I'll put a sweet apples in there, you know, and because people say the sugar makes the cocoons start hatching. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I'm just telling you what I've seen on other videos. But I do it just to try to speed things up. But I truly believe that leaving some worms in there that are crawling across the cocoons and stuff may somehow, some way tell them, y'all come on out. We got stuff to do out here. But like I said, to each their own. It's just my little process. You know, you can basically liken this to light separation, except I'm outside. I don't have a big old light bearing down on them, you know. But to me, it just seems like they get started right back to taking care of business, doing it this way, than I have in the past by using sifters or using my bucket trommel I made. You know, it just seems like they get right back at it faster doing it like this. It's not that bad. It's not that bad of a deal. As you can see, I'm more than 3/4 of the way through this bin, and I'm not going to keep it here for the whole bin, because all I'm going to do now is dump it in there. So I'm 3/4 of the way through this bin. I've got that little bit to go, and then I'll dump it over into that. I'll put 2 of these trays to each one of them trays right there to put on the heaters to get for the cocoons to be hatching. If y'all got any questions, just leave it down in the comment. I greatly appreciate you watching the channel. I hope that you'll come back. I hope you'll like, subscribe, share it out, And let me know what y'all think. Until we see you again, this is Bobby with New Soil Castings. We'll talk to y'all later. And goodbye.